So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna go through the workflow of how to do a 3-unit bridge. So remember what I talked about earlier, okay? If you're going to do a bridge, of course, you have to choose your anatomic. You also have to make sure that if you have a biocopy, you're gonna bring in a copy. If you have a gingiva, you're gonna add a catalog for a gingiva, okay? Additional design steps. As you can see now that we picked the bridge, we have a whole new section here where it says virtual gingiva. That would mean that you're gonna create gingiva around that bridge, okay? Or if you're gonna make a thimble crown, right? So that means that you're gonna reduce the case and you're gonna create a crown that's gonna sit on top of that, especially for like all on X's and stuff like that. And then you have a copy and mirror phase that's gonna be added to the wizard. Remember what the wizard is. The wizard is the step-by-step process. So if you don't add it to the wizard, then the only way to know about it and do it is through the expert stage. Does that make sense? Anything that says steps in wizard, additional design steps in wizard, and you want to add it, it will then go through the process, and then it will take that and plug it in right at that moment when you're going to be able to do it. Make sense? Okay? So again, we have our bridge. We come over here where it says design, click on that. Okay? Once it opens up, so basically the way that the articulator works is that once you place it, you can click right here where it says start virtual articulator. Once you click on it, you're gonna set it all up. You can actually move these. There's a lot of different things you can do. You can re-articulate the model virtually. You can move it around. You can articulate them. You can choose influencing teeth so that the articulator will work according to that. You can hide it, okay? You can just, the helper planes, right? So that way when you're setting up your articulator and you're moving it into position, you can move it there. Let me show you by removing this part and this part. There's little segments right there that will show you where to put the arch once you're articulating it, okay? Then of course you have your angles. You can change all of this. I usually leave it exactly how it is if I'm going to use the articulator. That's the same thing that I always tell everybody, even in InLab. There's really no reason to mess with that unless you really have those numbers, right? And then opening bite, right? You can open up the bite here. So if you want to open up the bite, you can move it, back and forth to whatever position you want to open it up, okay? Then here on the movements, it will show you these different movements by 4 millimeters, change all of this. Again, You can basically do anything that you want and just place it there. So the jaw selection, move upper, move lower, okay? And then you can just start the articulation movement by clicking here, and you'll see that it puts it all through those excursive movements according to whatever you use, okay? Once you have your articulator, you can bring it in and out at whatever stage you want, okay? Once we set up our articulator, you can just click on next. You also have the option, and we're not going to talk about smile design just yet, but you have the option of, segmentating all your teeth, okay? You can segmentate all the teeth, you can move them, you can do whatever it is that you want with that. Again, we're not going to talk too much about that because, we can do a case later on if we have time. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on skip, okay? Of course, when it comes to picking the margins, you'll pick them, right? If you want to, if you want to delete it and do it yourself, go right ahead. If you want to fix the margin, remember there's 2 ways to fix it. You can click right here where it says correct draw. So then you can just kind of move it into its position like that. Or you can click right here where it says draw free. You can double click, single click, and then double click, okay? Again, everything here is exactly the same as it was when we were doing the single unit, all right? So it's gonna make you do number 9 first, right here where it says tooth number 9. Then it will do next, which will then do number 11, same thing. Remember, if you can't pick the margin, the first thing that you do is you can detect it. So if I was to eliminate that and just right here where it says detect, and I just double click on it, it should be able to find that margin for me. Okay? And then you alter it. All right? So again, picking the margins is very simple. Very, very simple. Okay? Then you'll click next. All right? So again, in this one, we're going to show how to extract a tooth. So that way you guys know how to extract teeth. All right? And remember, it's all part of the wizard. So it's integrated into your workflow. The same thing that pertains to the single units will pertain to each one, right? You can change the borders, enhance, do whatever you want to do. The milling, choose the different sizes, all that good stuff. All right? We still haven't figured out how to move this thing yet, but, we'll see. After you choose that, you'll click next. So again, all these tools that are part of the wizard are in expert mode. So that means that, let's say if I'm creating a case and I need to extract a tooth, I can go into expert mode, right click, or use the tool and click on, I want to extract a tooth. But when it's in the wizard, it will take you to the margins, and it will take you right to this stage right here. When you're going to extract a tooth, there's 3 options. One of them is that you don't want to create a copy file. So let's say that I'm going to extract 7 teeth. And what I want to do is I want to create a copy file off of whatever was there before I extracted it. That's when I would choose this right here where it says copy. Okay? If I click here where it says virtual pre-op, okay, I'm sorry, no copy. That means no copy. If I click on virtual pre-op, then that means that it's going to create a virtual pre-op off of that. And then if I want a direct copy, then watch. When I click on it, it's going to now take this and make a copy of that over that. You see? Okay? But there is an extraction on your working model. Same thing with the virtual pre-op. What it's going to do is it's actually going to create and put in here another catalog by itself. And it's going to call it the pre-op catalog.